I tell you what, this week has been so dynamic, so incredibly different. I have changed. I have quantum leaped. And if you are in this space and if you are listening to these lives, if you are in this energetic container, whether you're in my group programs with me, my one-to-ones, or whether you're in this group here, then you will be going through a massive shift as well. So I really desire to hear from you. What have you been going through this week? Everyone that's been working with me in my group have been going through massive quantum leaps. So I just wanted to talk about that for a start. And if you are on replay, or if you're even watching this when it's not live down the track, then the energy is still available to you. And the reason why that is time and space, right? So we think that we have a certain amount of time. We try to live in this linear sense. The past was there, it doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. And we've got this present time and blah, 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 blah. And it takes this amount of time to make a cup of tea and this amount of time to become a hairdresser and this amount of time to make $1 million and this amount of time. And the funny thing is, these are points of view. These are truths that we have aligned and agreed with, made them truths, but they're not necessarily truths. They may be beliefs that we've picked up. So the training today, we are on day 5. This is all about the throat. This is all about speaking your truth and aligning with your human design. Now, this is going to be 2 different parts. The first thing I want to talk to you about is speaking and knowing your truth. Like I said before, your truth up until this point or certain points in your life have been a belief that you have picked up from possibly other people, society, the collective of things that have been told to you. You've picked up these points of view and made them your truth. So my question to you is, what is your real truth? Now, when I had my spiritual awakening and I had this breakdown, I had nothing else to lose. I was just like, oh my God, my world's upside down. I literally started from the beginning. I dropped all of the religious points of view that I've been told to believe. And I went, what do I really believe? And I started from ground zero. And now I'm a psychic medium. I have programs. I have people, their lives are changing and they're bringing their genius to the world. All these huge things are happening since I went, what is my truth? What is my purpose? What am I afraid to do and show up as because of judgment? What do I want to bring forward? What do I want to bring forward to the world? And the funny thing was, what I wanted to bring through to the world scared me shitless. It scared me because it was everything the opposite of what I had been taught. Now, is that a mistake? Was there a wrongness? Absolutely not. But I found my truth. So, what is yours? What do you truly believe? And were you told to believe that, or do you know that it's true? Put it in the comments. Let me know, because that was a real big one for me. Expressing yourself freely is the key to freedom. Allowing children to be themselves and express themselves, and allowing yourself to express yourself freely. What does that mean? It means that you may have not had that experience growing up. It means that children don't need to be, they need to be looked after on a physical sense, but they do not need to be extremely molded into who they're going to be. Why? Because we are all completely different. And I'm going to explain about this human design soon. And if you know about it, let me know. This totally changed my life. I learned what my human design was. And whoa, I can't wait to tell you about it, because this could be a game changer for you. And I'm sure if you know about human design, then you will agree that it's a game changer. So where can you parent yourself? You may be a parent, you may be reflecting and deflecting on your child, because we're energetic beings. I know I use my son as a gauge. Like if he is acting up and he's 5 and he's acting all like crazy and angry and like heightened, I'll be like, oh, what's going on with him? I wonder if this has got something to do with me. And I literally go to myself first and I clean up anything within myself. And usually he's like, hey, mom, and he's back to normal because he's just showing me stuff. So where we didn't have that type of conscious parenting in our lives, where we may have been verbally pushed down or physically pushed down or ridiculed or mocked, and a lot of this may not have been on purpose, but it may have been our parents or our caregivers doing that reflection thing on us or the deflecting or whatever it is that may have been something in your reality. And what I've come to realize, and what one of my coaches, Donna Lessa, taught me, was about self-parenting, having a conversation with yourself, basically popping yourself on your knee and going, hey, sweetheart, how are you going? Now, this can be done through meditation, or a lot of the things I teach about in my programs is inner child work. There's a lot of practitioners that do inner child work. You can probably find stuff on YouTube as well. But doing self-parenting, when you're finding yourself that you're starting to get frustrated, you start feeling like you're starting to lose your shit within yourself, then you have to go, hang on a minute. How old am I being right now? Am I not expressing myself? What is going on? And it may take you back to like, oh my gosh, I really feel like I acted like this when I was 8 years old. Then what you can go in and you can close your eyes and literally talk to your 8-year-old self and be like, hey, I'm here. What would you like to say? How are you feeling? So the self-parenting isn't disciplining. It is literally giving that nurturing and that nourishing and acknowledging the thoughts, the feelings of that 8-year-old. Now, that's just a little kind of touch. I do go deeper into my programs, but just wanted to give you a touch to whoever actually, a little snippet, anyone who required that. Now, the unsexy work when it comes to showing up. I was about to say throwing up. Oh my God. Funny, because the thing is, we're throwing up. I don't say anything on accident. It's a purging thing. Have you ever had neck stuff? Like sometimes people lose their voice or they get is it gurses or whatever the things they get in their throat, tonsillitis. They can get the thyroid problems, so they have to get their thyroid out. And that's a major for some people. And sometimes this is because they were shut down. They were shut up. They were pushed down energetically or physically. So the throat stuff, when it comes up, and I know for me, if I'm going through stuff about showing up or I'm acknowledging a client, if I'm doing like a reading or a one-to-one and they're not showing up, I'll start going, and I feel it all in my throat. There is no coincidence about the throat and the speaking your truth. Now, there's a few different things you can do, but one of the ones is doing the unsexy work. Now, if you have experienced things with your throat, like I said, the thyroid or the tonsils or losing your voice and stuff like that, it may not relate to this actual life. Like I said before, it could do, like by pushing down and shutting up and all that type of stuff, but it could be past life stuff. So only you know how to do that work. Like you can do it with a coach like myself and you go deeper into it, but you can, just for the purpose of this short 15 minutes to thrive video, it's very much about you going, okay, cool. So what is this? Is this relevant now? Was this from the past? What can I do about it? Am I speaking my truth now? Do I require to do some self-parenting or journaling? So I've actually put some journal prompts in here as well for you. It's called the unsexy work. I get all my people to do the unsexy work. I work with coaches and practitioners. I work with spiritual entrepreneurs and people that are really desiring to bring their genius to the world. And a lot of the time they come to me and go, I just want the tools to get my business out there. I'm like, yeah, cool, awesome. But if you work with me, we do the unsexy work. So let's do that first. All the time. So unsexy work. Where did you shut your mouth? Therefore, you were shut down. So where you couldn't speak up, children must be seen, not heard, that type of stuff. Was that in your reality growing up? And where were you allowed to speak up because you were actually doing the parenting of your parents instead of the other way around? So therefore, they actually acknowledged you and saw you when you were doing that, because technically they were actually being children instead of adults. Like I said, we go back to our childhood, right? Hello, Rachel. Rachel said unsexy work is where the growth starts. Yeah, totally. It is just that starting point, and it grows and grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. I'm doing the unsexy work every day for alignment, for growth, for consciousness. So yes, thank you, Rachel. It was beautiful. So where were you mocked? Were you mocked when you were growing up? Were you laughed at? Were you verbally or energetically being told to be quiet? Remember the look? Be quiet. Now, I understand that children require to be taught. Like, you don't want a whole lot of crazy kids running around their classroom and the teacher's trying to teach. And that comes down to boundaries. Like, the teacher has to have their own boundaries as well, which is a totally different lesson. Okay, so where were you told? Were you told that you were wrong? Were you ever told, okay, do what I say, not as I do? All of these things energetically push you down. And I remember when I was a little girl hearing these things going, it doesn't make sense. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about that. Now, a couple of little things that you can do to balance the throat chakra before I go into a little bit of human design, because this is the game changer, is, I've been using these a lot this week, actually. They're just sitting here with me. I've been using throat and I've been using the heart. So I used that yesterday, that rose quartz. You can pick up crystals really inexpensively as well. And you just cleanse them in water. You cleanse them under the moonlight. They are just, it's so funny because my throat's now doing funny things. So I'm talking about the throat. They are support for you, okay? They are support. And so is beautiful oils. Like right now I'm using Believe with you guys. It's Young Living, and there's White Angelica for like spiritual cleansing and stuff like that. So I use oils and crystals. I don't believe they heal. I think we are the ones that heal it, but they support. So journaling, writing down those questions, doing the unsexy work and allowing yourself to know what you know, speaking your truth. You don't have to go up to everybody who has wronged you and say, you were an asshole, you were an asshole, you were an asshole, and you were an asshole. I deserve an apology, because that's not really speaking your truth. Speaking your truth is knowing your truth, knowing your boundaries, knowing your values. So, because I do want to stick on time a little bit, I want to talk to you really quickly about human design. Now, this was a game changer for me. Human design is a mix of astrology, I think it's I Ching, I don't know how you say these things, I'm a little bit dyslexic, Kabbalah, and the chakras. It is layers on layers and layers and layers, and it goes really intricate. There is gates, there is the chakras, there is basically defined centers. So these chakras, I've always known my chakras are different to others. Straight up. I knew it. I've always been different. And even people that work for my chakras go, where are they? Like, they feel different. And now I know why. Now I know why I only hold a certain amount of energy. Now I know why I'm psychic as fuck. Now I know why I get things done really quickly and I can change my mind and pivot at any second and download fast. Now I know why. And that is because this human design thing, I'm not going to go deep into it because we don't have time, but there's 5 designs. Our bodies are all different, okay? So we function different, but we have been taught to live in the reality, the world that works 9 to 5. We've been taught that having 8 hours sleep and 3 meals with snacks and the 8 glasses of water is how a human being is, how we're supposed to live, how we're supposed to survive. But you know yourself that 8 hours may not be sufficient for you. 8 glasses of water may not be sufficient for you. And 9 to 5 may not be sufficient for you. Like, that may be sufficient for you, and that's cool. That means you're one of the designs. But there's 5 different designs, and we all function completely differently. Since I have started aligning to my design, my life has been easier. Now, we can align to it. There are strategies on how you're supposed to live within your particular design. So you're one of the 5. And there's also what we call a non-self theme. And the non-self theme is if you are out of alignment, this comes up for you. So for instance, mine is bitterness. If I'm not aligned and I'm feeling wonky, I get really tired and I get bitter. I get bitter with the world. There's also, one of them is frustration, one of them is anger. So yeah, that's what we call a non-self theme. But the strategy is about how you you show up in the world. So it may be how you sell to clients or attract people to you, like friendships or partners. It's how you function. And everybody's is different. So the 5 different designs, we've got mini-gen, generator, manifester, projector, and reflector. Now, it's funny because there's a different percent. And you guys have actually put a link down here so you can actually find out what your design is. So pop them in the comments because I'm really excited to see. This is literally a game changer. I can't even get over how my life has changed since I've known this. Now, it's the generator that we are conditioned to act like. So the 9 to 5, like my husband is a generator, and he can literally, I'm not even kidding, he can literally work from 8 in the morning till 8 at night, and he's like boom, 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 like an Energizer bunny if he's aligned. Now, a managen is all like, whoa, yeah, this is great, let's create. And they can do multitasking and they can keep working and doing all the things. I'm a projector. And a projector only can work a few hours a day. They're very potent, they're very psychic, but they literally get tired if they're overdoing it because we do things fast. And we can literally see what people should do, like in their lives. So different paths, we can see what they can do and what their gifts are. And then there's a reflector. The reflector, there's only 7% of the world are reflectors. And there's only like 20% that are projectors. So anyhow, it is amazing. And it's life-changing because if you know what your children are as well, it makes sense with their non-self theme and their strategy. And it tells you what of your chakras are defined and what are non-defined. And that actually has a really big impact in how you function, whether you're taking energy from others and information or whether you're conditioned. So it goes really, really deep, and you guys can do your own research. I'll put some stuff in the comments here as well, so you can go check it out. And I'm getting everyone on my program, my Release Your Blocks Practitioner program, I'm getting them for the first time in my programs, I'm getting them to align. We do trainings on it, and it's going to be coming into all of my stuff because it is that potent. I was functioning as one of the designs as a managing where I was creating. And I was like, I'm tired. I need to go to sleep. I used to like crash. And I was like, why can't I just work 10 hours like the normal person? Because I used to do it as a hairdresser, but now I'm a mom and I've got all these other things going on too. But I used to only work as a hairdresser and then like sleep and watch TV. Like I couldn't do anything else. And I never understood why I couldn't keep up with my friends. Now I do. So because I was trying to function as a different design, basically what happened was I kept smashing into the wall and hitting burnout. I have got clients that are projectors, and I can read them very well. And I can tell you what, they all get tired and they all get fatigued. And I've got clients that are mani-gens, and both of my children are mani-gens, manifest generators. They are like, whoa, let's do this. They get bored quickly, so they have to be changing their ideas and moving up. They do not want to be held down. They should not be going to sleep unless they've exerted their energy. And I always wondered why my children could not be in a routine. I thought it was my fault. My kids go to bed when they're ready. Isn't that interesting? But I already knew that, even though I didn't know what human design was. So the reason why I'm sharing this with you is this is a massive, massive part of aligning. If you truly desire to bring yourself out to the world, to your best kind of strategy, to be your best self, then knowing how your body works and how many hours suits you to work and what your strategy is, as in what do you do? Are you the first person to respond? Do you lay back? Like I nap. I've napped for an hour and a half today, 2 hours yesterday. I like luxury. The more I align to that design, the more successful I am every single time. This is a different way of thinking. So let me know if you know what this is. Now I know more about it. I dabbled with it about like a year ago, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what that means. But then all of a sudden I learned about it, and I'm like, whoa. And I'm watching everybody in my life who knows about this change. and they're changing because they're doing what's right for their body. They're deconditioning themselves so they can fit into their particular design. There's 5 designs, and it is like life-changing. So doing the work with the crystals and doing the healings, there's plenty of people that do. You can go deeper with the human design. You can get readings. There's books. There's podcasts. You can do all your own research. There's tons of stuff. But this is one of the things that I'm bringing into my programs so you can align to your body. Now, if you're like me and you're a projector and you're like super psychic and you're pretty sure you can read people and what they're thinking, then it is really important to rest and nap. And I'm going to go have a bath after this with oils. Like, that's what I'm going to do. I've got emails to do. I've got things to do. I don't care because I need to go and rest. And this is like a part of the designing. It's not pushing. For me, I have to align. So I can relax for 3 days straight, and then I can get 3 days worth of work done in 1 hour. Like, I can do things that fast because I'm aligned. Now, since I've been aligning, I've become a lot more psychic, a lot more dynamic. I am a lot more joyful. Everything's easy. I don't hit burnout. So if you feel that you're not aligned with mind, body, and soul, this is the thing that can totally do that. It's another tool, and it's mind-blowing, and it's the astrology and everything put together. And the chart that you get is very intricate, and you might look and go, what the fuck is this? But you can actually break it down and learn about it. So I'm going to pop one of a podcast in the group, and you've got the My Body graph there. You can learn what your design is. This isn't just for you. This is about aligning your whole family. Now, my children are many gens, and my husband's a generator, so I know I have to rest more than them. And they was like, come on, Mum. I'm like, no, I'm resting. You guys go have some fun. Like, I desire to rest because I'm lazy, but because this is what I require. And I know that my husband needs direction, and I know that he needs work to continuously go, where I'm like, I'm going to go to the beach and I'm going to go do this because that's what works for me. You can put your graphs together and read them together and go, wow, that's so cool. Having this understanding about the themes and the non-self themes and the strategies and all of that type of stuff is so cool. And you don't have to go deep, deep, deep. Like, I'm really interested in it, and I teach it with all my pupils and stuff. But if you can know the basics of it, you just go click, click, click. It's so cool. Okay, my loves, I am going to let you go there. I'm starting to heat up in this room. My goodness. So crystals and oils and journaling and supporting. It's time for you to show up. It's time for you to speak your truth. It's time for you to get real, the real you, bring it forward, bring you forward so you will be ready no matter what comes. Mind, body, and soul. What is your truth? What are you really here for? Is it your time? Anyway, I'm off to have a mermaid bath. Have a beautiful, we've gone over time. I know. I will stick to time tomorrow. I adore you. Thank you for being here. And I will catch you guys later. Bye.